big commodity farmers there. They're all for clean water also. But these basins take some management to keep the trees from moving in and crowding things out, and then the trees get into the farm tile. So they don't want to mess with it because they don't want to mess with 50 new sites trying to clean this water. If they would sell it to a beginning farmer like myself, who has time to manage that, and take care of the food production on site, and be a part-time employee, the big farmer will benefit tremendously with a part-time labor source, new house, new barn, tax base in that rural economy. You own it, you build your human capital, financial capital, and supply a local food system. And that's a public health solution, and it's a downstream water quality and flood solution.
And so you can take a 6-acre production plot, or a 10-acre, or maybe a 20-acre production plot that is marginal for large-scale farming.
Right.
But it probably sits at the end of a county tile, or just a farm tile, or something like that, where you can gather that water and you can produce crops that are intensive crops, but perhaps low labor, that will give you enough income as a super small scale farmer to live, because the per unit value of what you're producing is much higher than the corn or the beans or something like that.
This is a good business model to rebuild rural Iowa.
So it's a profitable business model.
Yeah, and you stop the immigration of people out of rural Iowa, have people move back into rural Iowa, springboard up those watersheds, starting new homesteads.
And it's something, if you're a family member or a friend of a veteran that has post-traumatic stress disorder or traumatic brain injury, this may be the place to be, because you can do a lot on your own without people around you, and there are paranoia issues, there are anxiety issues. Those don't have to be addressed with other people while you're working. You can go out there and do it yourself.
Right.
And you don't have to have somebody looking over your shoulder. At the same time, you do have professional help that can come in from people like Ray and from the government, and that will help you set up. So there's real opportunity. Now, Ray, let's look at a map of Iowa, and we're going to show you. We know that the government has the sites that we're looking for. There's 120 sites in Iowa, 120,000 sites. There's a lot of sites, more than we have farmers in Iowa. I think we're down to below 50,000 farmers in Iowa. We have 120,000 small-scale sites. Now, the rivers that are in red and in yellow, I believe, are where the opportunities are, where you've got farm drainage tile going into a river, and you've got some close proximity. Is that right, Ray?
Yes. And even upstream from just about any community or city, you can look at areas where you have water inbound for the city. This also fits within urban areas as part of a new development to catch this water and slow it down from going down into the rest of the community. So this is a multi-purpose system.
Yeah. So when we have those 100-year floods every 10 years or 5 years, or the 500-year floods every 20 or 30 years, and it's because of a lot of the compaction that has occurred.
Right.
And we saw that compaction. I'm going to get that rock again, or that, it's not a rock, it's a piece of high quality Iowa black dirt topsoil that if you dropped it would bounce. And it's a big problem, because it can only absorb about this probably would even be worse, but the average compacted soil maybe absorb about a ½ inch of rain per hour. But yours, and this is what yours looked like, it could probably not even absorb a ½ inch, maybe a ¼ inch an hour. But because of what you did over several years, redoing that soil and decompacting it by worm action,
right,
through the composting.
Topsoil with the compost, let the worms come in and infiltrate it, and at 10-inch rain, it absorbed all of it.
10-inch rain on that surface, yeah.
Right, and now it's just like the floor of a forest.
Yeah, they say, one of the guys was saying 4 to 6 inches of rain, but this actually absorbed 10. And then, and so that's dirty water, nutrient-rich water that wasn't wasted going into Saylorville. It was a nice, clean water that went into Saylorville Lake, because of what you've done. And these are all the places. here, if you went and just drove down a lane or walked one of these creeks, I think that probably some of that red, I suspect, is drainage ditch, and some of the yellow is probably more well, not quite, I don't know the codes, but along these areas, you'll find these little plots. It'll be 5, 10, 20 acres that are, they're wetland, they have wetland characteristics, and that's the kind of farm you're looking at, where you can get the farmer that owns that land possibly to sell that section to you, and then there's a way to build that up. You're still going to have to work the first couple of years.
Oftentimes you're going to find soil that's really nice yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that eroded or beat that hard or you know, degraded that much. And so you could have good production the first year, especially when you have that free high nitrate water, the phosphate runoff. We had 10 inches of rain, plus I got runoff from the farm north of me. So I probably had about 20 or 30 inches of water come on site. We had none flash off the property. We kept it all on site. Okay,
now let's we'll wrap it up now. And you got your pen ready. If you have your pen ready, I'll just let you a little bit so you can write down the email. Ray likes his stuff to come in email. So we'll find that slide that has your email on it, Ray. And then we'll run that through one more time. So we've got it. You've seen a lot of good pictures here. He talked to me about his shiitake mushrooms.
I lost it.
That you lost it? You can't find it? Okay. Oh, here it is. I'll just read it off to you. If I can find it on here, Ray. It's
You shine right on the laptop.
yeah. I can't find it. No, it's not going to cooperate. Well, anyhow, I'll spell it out. It's Cherry Hill Farms, Iowa, right? Or Cherry Hill Farm, Iowa. C-H-E-R... What? Cherry Glen. Okay, I'm sorry. Cherry Glen Farms. C-H-E-R-R-Y-G-L-E-N. Can you, is that seeable? Can you see that? Cherry Glen Farm, Iowa at gmail.com. Write that one down and send it along to Ray, and he'll be sure to respond to you. He's really excited about this, and he's happy to work and give advice. Thank you very much.
They can also get a hold of the Iowa Veterans in Agriculture, Beginning Farmer Center for Iowa, or the local NRCS office. And the drainage district has all these things mapped out. And they can locate that through their NRCS office in their county.
So drive out on those country roads. Look for those spots that you think the farmer's really not that interested in having, and see if you can use your imagination, get some professional advice so you don't make a mistake, but then go out and do it. Start that little farm while you're still working down at that factory in town. Go out and get that little piece of land, and you can become a standalone farmer, and this is the path to do it. There's 120,000 sites out there in Iowa just ripe for the picking. This is Bob Kraus with the Veterans National Recovery Center. I'm with Ray Meylor, who has basically taken a national study and consolidated and implemented it right here in Polk City, Iowa. And I'm with my wife, Vicki, who's been a very good cameraman today. And I'd have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.